So hey guys, what's up? It's your favorite cousin. You already know I'm back with another video. So in today's video, we're going to get straight to the point. So let's talk about how when you become emotionally disciplined. What I mean by this is you have finally gotten to a point where you understand that everyone's problem is not yours. You no longer seek approval from people who are determined to misunderstand you. See, the thing about growth is you understand that people will praise you for one thing one day, and the very next time they see you or the moment you make a mistake, they are talking down to you, or they're looking at you differently. So you finally got to your place in life where you no longer seek a people approval. You no longer seek that. You know that growth and discipline start within yourself. You understand that everybody is not worth your time. Everybody cannot be so close to you and have access to you because of your emotional intelligence now. You understand that. And when that happens, you grow mentally. You have time to think. Your brain becomes, or your thoughts become calmer because you're not carrying the burden of everybody else and everybody emotional problems. And once you realize that, life become so much better. But then you're going to have people that are angry and upset with you because you are not available to listen to their stories and their problems like you once were. Because you understand now, in order for you to grow, you need that peace of mind within yourself. It's time for you to focus on yourself. You cannot fix everybody else's problems, especially when they are determined to constantly do the same things over and over and over and over and over again. You give people room to grow. You have empathy for them and you still pray for them, but you're no longer ready, available to be their therapist or to be their person that listen and a person that they can call on, because I guarantee when you need something, those same people that you listen to, that you've tried to understand, tried to give advice to, when it's your time for need, those people are nowhere to be found. And that is just the reality of growing maturely. And this is not for everybody, because you do have people in your life, and I'm praying that you do have people in your life who really love you, and, you guys are there for each other. But I'm talking about people who emotionally drain you every time that you talk to them. Your mind is heavy. You feel like exhausted once you get off the phone with them, or once you are around them and you leave. You feel exhausted from these people because you know that they're not ready to grow, and you are. And it doesn't make you better, it doesn't make them less than you, but you're just on a different path in life. So you have to do what's best for you in your life, because guess what? And I always tell you guys, these people are going to do what's best for them. And does that make them wrong? No. But where the problem comes in is you should not be their emotional support all the time when it's one way. A relationship has to involve two people, and two people have to put in work and to build the relationship, and do things that can become stronger, that helps the relationship come stronger. It does not mean one-sided. You're always there, but the moment you need to talk or vent, or the moment when you're having a hard time or a bad day, they never want to listen to you. Or if they do listen to you, it's like, okay, I heard you, now let me tell you about my problems. That's not a healthy relationship. I think that if you are in this space in life, you need to seek out people who can build with you. And you guys have obstacles in life, because that's what life is, but you're seeking better. You're not just thinking about it. You're actually putting forth effort to become better. Stop being around people that do not want to grow, because you're going to be stuck in this rut, frustrated with your life. And then you're going to look around and one day you're going to ask yourself, why am I not where I'm supposed to be? And it's half of the battle is who you surround yourself with. So this is something hard to face, especially when you are a person who loves people and, you know, you have empathy and you want to help people. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes God give us a gift to be able to do that. However, you should not become a prisoner to your gift by dealing with emotionally draining people 24/7 on a daily basis. You cannot do that. Sometimes we get confused with, you know, wanting to help people with doing God's work. And sometimes you have to move out of God's way in order for these people to be saved, because or if you're constantly there for them emotionally and you're, you know, there whenever they need you 24/7, how can they grow? Because think about your life and how you grew, because you had to lean on God because there was no one there for you. You had no choice but to grow. And again, sometimes you be put in these situations, or let's be honest, sometimes we put ourselves in these situations, but the outcome become growth. And then when other people put themselves in these situations, because we all are human, the outcome becomes calling on you, depending on you, draining you 24/7. Not asking you, hey, even every once in a while, are you okay? What's going on with you? How are you feeling? But when you're dealing with people who are one-sided, that is exactly what you get. Drained in their problems. So you trying to navigate your life and also pray or help somebody else that is determined to complain about their situation but not make any changes. And listen, don't get me wrong. We all have to change in different times of life. We all go through different stages of life, and I get that. And just because you woke up and you have grown doesn't mean that everybody around you should be on the same page. I understand that. What I'm saying is, when you are on a journey to become better, you cannot save everyone else. You can't. Especially those people who are determined not to be saved, who look at your words or take your words of advice as just words. Because how many times can you repeat the same thing over and over and over and over and over to someone and they still do this? They're just not ready. And listen, that is okay. But you have to question, what are you going to do with yourself? And that comes from people pleasing. That comes from maybe not being accepted. That comes from maybe your childhood. That comes from a lot of things that you have dealt with in life. But once you heal and you started the process of healing, then you're going to have a whole different outlook on things. And it's going to be more about protecting yourself. And you're going to understand that your time is valuable. Your conversations are valuable. The things that you have to do, you have to save that energy in order to place it where it needs to be placed in your life. And I'm not saying don't be there for them. What I'm saying is don't be there to an extent where it drains your mental health, well, where it depletes you and what you have going on. It's a distraction on your life. That's all I'm saying. And once you get to that point in life, you will have freedom. You will love yourself. You will have time to focus on the things that you need to focus on, and your life will become so much better. Not that because you're not there for people, but because you set boundaries. I love you guys, and I hope this helps somebody. And keep going. Work on setting boundaries. And I know it's easier said than done, but try something little, a little boundary at a time, and watch how, it can calm you down mentally, and you have time to love on yourself, to build your relationship with God, and to become the best version of you. And I'll see you guys next video.